Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are returning to our Let's Play of Unity of Command, where we'll be playing the Edelweiß mission, which is happening in July 1942 before we go to Stalingrad in August. And you can actually see that this is, as I said, this is a last German offensive, really on big, large-scale maneuver warfare in the war. And you can actually already see, even though we've been pretty successful, it's of course historically running out of steam just a little bit. It started out in May, and in June, July, so over two months, 3 months. This is all the way that they managed to do. So yeah, let's actually start the game over here and discuss the scenario. The basic scenario is of course that Army Group A races towards the oil fields in the Caucasus foothills. Soviet forces can offer little resistance, having just withdrawn from the Donbas and under chaotic circumstances. Geography of the area presents a challenge for both sides, with vast differences making logistics difficult. Our first priority is to capture the oil fields at Maikop and the mountain passes. Keep the railroad from Rostov clear all the way. Your supplies will quickly dry out. And we have two excellent units from the Crimea, but they are locked from crossing. So this is a little bit of a larger map this time, and it's of course down here on the Caucasus Mountains. So this is Maikop and the oil fields that were very significant in World War II. All in all, Grozny and just the entire area was one of the most important oil producing fields. So we do have these these guys here, they would be locked to these areas, so they are basically in the Crimea Peninsula, and they can cross over here once we have captured this area. Our forces are up here in the north, and we do need to make our way to these objectives, so let's have a look at them. There's only on turn 10, turn 10, turn 9, 5 and 7. So the most important objectives are these up here, but on the other hand we want to get our flank security up apparently over there and further advance down there, but really the main push has to be along here. Let's look at the supply situation. We do have two sources of supply. This one is not connected to railroad, so even though it has a range of 8, which is going to be great for some immediate vicinity, ultimately we are relying on the railroad over here and to the south, which currently only has a range of 1. We can actually increase the range of that, and we will do so every turn, just so we can venture out of the immediate vicinity of this railroad as we go. We can also build bridges. So let's look at the terrain. There are of course these various rivers that we can see with varying crossing points, and that's probably going to be important over here. So we will probably be able to, or hopefully be able to, build a lot of bridges as we go. No bad weather or anything in the immediate area right now, so that's okay. And we do also have 1 air attack per turn. Right, so I think the first thing to realize is this supply source up here, it just can pass this river a little bit, but a lot of our forces are over here, including 2 tank brigades. So I think what we actually need to do is build up a bridge over here, and that will allow the supply coming in from here to flow over here beginning next turn. So that I think is great. But again, the most important push is going to be over here. And this unit up here is blocking our way currently across this bridge, so I think this is the first attacks that we do need to do over here. That was worse than expected. Again, worse than expected. This is not going great, but at least we have destroyed them, so that's good to see. Now we want to push up further over here, but we do need to be mindful of this river crossing here. So what I would actually like to do then is bring up, well, let's first start out with this infantry unit. We'll cross the river, then we are gonna attack it from the rear. Lost some units over there. Then we're gonna bring in this Viking motorized division. We could also bring in the tanks, but I do think 5 plus 2, 5 plus 3, yeah, so I think the motorized division is a little bit better suited to do this, and they have indeed destroyed the enemy, so that is great. So I wonder, so you literally have 0 over here, but that's probably because of the zone of control of this guy. So I wonder, if we were to go over here, would we be able to do this? So you have 4, 3, 2, 1 nil. So no, actually we do need to bring in the tank down here. So let's bring it down here, and we can attack into the flank on these guys. And obviously I do think that would be a great attack. Let's actually use the bombing run here, because that might allow us to completely obliterate them. And we weren't quite able to do that, but at least they lost their tank support, so that's great to see. And a very good success over here so far, I think. Right, can we go on further? Yes, we could push up with our Jägers over here. I'm not too sure that would be the greatest idea though, because these Jäger divisions are not the strongest, especially in defense. But we might do so anyway, so yeah, let's bring you up, let's destroy them. And that's okay, and then you could actually move away a little. Could also move up these guys, which might not be the worst idea. On the other hand, if I move you over here, I could then move this guy over here, and that would allow us to have a little bit of a stronger force in the vicinity. I think we'll be getting supplies over here, so that should actually be okay. What we can do is bring up this infantry division and then get these Romanian infantry up here in the city and on the railway line, and that should be fine then, I think. Right, these guys here we will keep encircled for now, I think. There's no point really attacking them, especially not with these weak units. It does leave you. You can't cross there. So this might be taking a little bit too much time, but I'm gonna cross the river over here. That will lock us in. So that does leave this flank here. And what we should do is, well, these guys tend to be extremely annoying, but as do these, so let's start out over here, doing some damage there. That's good. And we're gonna cross. We're gonna deal some damage against them. And we could do more, of course. Bring over the tank. This has a 90% chance of producing an overrun, which is great. And there we go, so that's a decent result over here. Nice. Very good. That does leave these motorized, this motorized division, so I think let's try to bring you back over here. Then we could try to completely obliterate these guys, or deal with the... Yeah, I think these guys will be more important. Good. Okay, that does leave us with no units left. We could, of course, hire more units. And I'm somewhat tempted to do that. It's 50 bucks. But I don't think it's required for now. We are bunched up here anyway, so let's end the turn, see what the Soviets are going to do. Of course, going to move into the victory objectives. They're trying to block our way here on the railway line. They're forming a defensive line over here, interestingly enough, with the cavalry included. Another defensive line being established over here, and one behind this river, which is sort of to be expected. And here we go, so we did lose very significant casualties on our Jägers, which I was afraid about. And this down here I'm also not too keen on, because this is a very, very strong unit. Note that it's experienced, it does have tanks, and it has 7 or so points, and that means it will be very, very hard to kick these guys out of that position. Right. Let's have a look over here. So first things first, of course, we're going to increase the supply range. And no one is really out of supply except for this guy over here, but I don't think you should be next turn. Yes, so next turn you should be fine, which of course is great. So we do have these 2 strong units and a couple of further ones. You could attack down here, but it would really not do all that much for us. So 5+3, 5+2. Okay, let's bring you in here first. That was maybe not the best idea. Only 1. Oh, a terrible result. Okay, let's use our aircraft to soften it up a little bit. There we go. Overrun, that's nice. But not critical really. 3. 1, 2, 3. Could go a little further, I think. These guys over here, they still need to... We'll still need to fight them for a little while. Okay, let's bring these guys over. You can go over here. So at least we've got all of these guys covered. So, yes. Bring you up to the front. Destroyed and overrun. Nice. Yeah. No real breakthrough over there. Destroyed. Nice. Let's capture this bridge. Try to kill off the infantry on the flanks there. And that should allow us to push pretty far up, I think. Okay. You can go here. Destroy and overrun them. Nice. Didn't do too much. Any bridges that we could build? Well, over here, but that's pretty meaningless. Could try to establish a crossing there. If we had enough forces, which I don't think we do. Well, I could push up. But ideally, I do think we do need to do some damage over here. Nice. Good stuff. Okay, so that's fine. These guys are fine. We can bring a couple of guys forward, I would think. So firstly, I think you're gonna come here. You know what? Let's reorganize these guys so that we will get some more reinforcements as time goes on. Oh my, why are we taking so much more damage than any of these attacks does make us believe? Not in a great position over here. Yeah, this really isn't going as great as we would have loved to see. No one will be out of supply, will you? Ooh, yes you will. Okay, that's better. We should come over here if we could. Okay, I'm gonna move you up so that all of our guys are in supply, unless of course they are taking any of these areas. Probably they will. I would actually expect them to pull back rather than push up. Yes, I think that's gonna be okay. You could attack technically into here. Okay. Yeah, I can live with this. Might as well. Not going to be meaningful. So do we want to buy another infantry division then? Would cost us $50. But it just might be helping us out enough. Ooh, we could actually deploy it over here. That's actually pretty good because that means we can push it up very far. But you know what? I don't think that's the best thing to do. Though what I do think that we could do is add a specialist step. So either recon, which would mean that we are not locked by zone of control, and we can capture adjacent territory, both of which would be good, or engineers, which would mean that we can kick out enemy units a little bit quicker. Well, might as well entrench you. I think that costs us 2 points, but all in all that should be fine. And you know what? Likewise, you can't entrench? Okay, that's fine. Let's end the turn. See what they're going to do. Okay, pushing up over here, establishing another front over there. Interesting. Pulling back, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, and this area down here, just look at all the fortifications, and we are already entering turn 3. And they're now digging in. Good God, this will be so difficult to dislodge. We still can't take them out over here. Oh well, we'll have to see. Right, so let's think about this flank here first. I think we need the tanks just to finish up some of these guys. But on the other hand, I really want to go aggressively down here towards the south. Okay, let's start out here. Destroyed, not overrun though. That's unfortunate. Motorized division. You can come down here. 5 killed in action, good. Right, how far would our supply go? 4. We might as well try to... Well, they are also blocking this way down here, so ideally I would like to come up all the way over here. So that means this tank cannot attack over there. Well, not now. Motorized division can't reach down there, so I think that's probably the best then if we go down here, attack. Goodbye the engineers for you. Sorry, the engineers. No, I think it would be better suited for the armor itself. On the other hand, ultimately we do need to dislodge these guys. And this is terrain where armor doesn't really come into play that well. Okay, so let's buy the engineers actually on these guys. Well, that could have gone better. Still not considered weak, which is a bit unfortunate. Well, all of you guys can come down here. Now you are considered weak. Okay, let's just make sure to hit the right spot. Do need to come over here. And it does allow us to build a bridge over here so that at least they need to watch another flank. Which is not the most important thing, but it's still going to be helpful. And then we do need to do some mob-up operations over here. Okay, good stuff. Reinforce you. Was that all the reinforcements we had? Well, not too great. Destroyed. Okay, good. Bring it back on the railroad. Now we need to watch these guys up here and these guys. Well, overall, we don't necessarily need to destroy them. On the other hand, I'm kind of mindful that these guys could come over here and disrupt our entire supply situation, so that would obviously be pretty bad. Okay, so let's move in the infantry over here so that we have a zone of control, and they just shouldn't be able to just move in here. Maybe over here? No, they shouldn't. So that does leave these guys up here. It's not actually critical that we occupy this space though, so we might just as well come over here. Don't think they'll be able to attack us as long as we keep the Romanians up here, and that should be fine. Good. That does leave the situation up here a little bit, so I think what we should really do though is come up over here, smash these guys, overrun, nice, smash these guys, destroyed, nice, and that at least does give us some way to advance over here. Destroyed, great. So now we can pull off this tank and just one guy can continue the advance individually. Right. Mob up over here. Great. And I don't think we have anyone who's capable of moving even. Can dig you in. Can dig you in. Pretty meaningless, I think, but let's do so anyway. And everyone has moved. Yeah, good, okay. That does leave the air attack then, and I'm gonna target this over here. It's not gonna do anything, or too much actually, but this is going to be helpful. Ooh, interesting. They're putting up a forward defense over here since we've now created another crossing over here, so I do love the AI in this game. It's really nice to see this. Trying to break out over there, reinforcing this position. And down there. Well, that's interesting. You'll probably be out of supply. Yeah, you are. Right. Let's bomb these guys. That's fine. Fantastic, actually. You can come across here, and that now means you... How much supply have we got? It's not too much, but I think we'll be able to come over here in due time. You can come up there. Still, it's turn 4. There's no way that we could come over here next turn. I just don't think that's viable. We have a couple of fast units. That's good. Five plus 2, 5 plus 3. Movement. You could come over here and attack, but that wouldn't be that meaningful. I think the weakest unit is probably the motorized one. Let's bring you up over here. Let's try to kill these guys. Weren't quite able to do that, but should be able to do that with the infantry. So I think this is really the maximum range until which I can go and still attack. Okay, let's come here. Let's attack. No overrun. Very, very, very unfortunate. And I do think we need to come over here. This will leave us terribly vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable towards this guy cutting us off now. But I mean, these guys aren't out of supply now, so that should at least be fine, shouldn't it? We are not able to really go very far here without outrunning our supply lines, though. We could come up over here. I think this should then be in supply. Yeah, it should be. Come up over here. Attack into there, overrun. Finally getting an overrun. Let's try an overrun. Now I can't move. Okay, fine though. Sometimes it just has to be that way. Right, so let's look at what else we've got. Just try to move you up as fast as possible. Which I think is going to be fine. You know what? You can actually be reorganized so that we can re-establish some of our forces. Right, so all in all, this is good. We managed to defeat most of their forces, but down here this is going to be extremely tough. Is there any other bridge that we could build? No, just destroy. There's no point destroying anything. Well, we could attack over here, hope to defeat this guy. That would mean not cutting this guy off. Could attack this guy over here, hoping to reduce his reorganization a little bit. But all in all, I think this guy is the most critical. We're still not doing any damage. Alright, let's see. Yeah, of course they're cutting us off. Well, just only really this guy. And this guy, god damn it, this guy is actually critical. Because, we couldn't get any supply over there. Well, that's extremely unfortunate. Destroy you. What about this Soviet supply? There's a couple of supply sources. Not sure whether this could reach over here to Mine Cop though. If we can cut off his supply lines, that'd be great. But we would need to actually destroy these guys this turn. So we could bring up our tanks all the way over here. Can also bring up our SS unit, which would only take losses. Or our engineers. Maybe I should have moved the engineers first, but they wouldn't be able to do anything. Still nothing there. Oh, this is so frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna buy another engineer unit for our tanks and hope just look at all these losses. And we haven't even dented them. You could attack, but that wouldn't be going anywhere actually. God damn it, that was such a brutal result. That's really frustrating. We haven't done anything against them though. That was really bad. You can't even attack. Is there any way we could bridge somewhere? We could create a bridge over there. Pointless though. Okay, let's bring up our infantry. I don't think it would have made much difference to buy more infantry or anything like that earlier, because as you can see it's just so slow. It might have made a lot of difference to bring this tank to the southern front earlier, because it would now be available, whereas, well, really we might have lost that moment. But on the other hand, it was important to defeat these guys over here so that ultimately we could push in there. But again, on the other hand, we did have some time to do that, which we didn't quite use. Okay, nothing to do over there, and this is unfortunate. Right, so that does leave this tank. What's the supply situation like? So there is no train connection over here. Could we come over here? No, we could not. But we'd definitely be in supply over here. So yeah, let's at least come over there then. Will we be in supply over here? Yeah, we would. Okay, and turn. And that does mean we are losing points now because we haven't captured this. Right, shall we start out with this attack? Let's actually start with this. Breached. Excellent. Very, very good. Breached does mean that we can now hopefully do some damage over here. We are still not able to do any damage. Okay, can we send you... You can send you down here. Right, and that is also priority, right? Because that is a target we should capture in turn 7. So yeah, that is relevant. Let's come up over here with these guys. Where are bridges? Or potential bridges? Over here, here. Okay, and we do have these tanks up here as well. You know what? We'll bring you all the way over here. Bring up this tank. Do damage. Still, just look at that. It's a two-point unit and we'd be losing so badly against it. It's not even funny. Right. How about now? Just one-on-one. Okay, now we destroyed it. Taken on turn 6. Little bit of a loss there. Breached. Nice. Don't think we'll be able to do much against them though. Yeah, we should be mindful here, of course. Right. Bridges. Let's do build this one. Then again, this is going to be a very, very tough fight over there as well. Let's bring you over here. I think you can start dealing some damage over here. Ah, damn it. Still, that's going to be okay. And you guys are going to come up over there, and you can capture this. Nice, thank you. That should be everyone, no? You guys could deploy over here only, so we can't quite reach there yet. All of you guys are doing whatever you can. You could advance a little bit more towards various directions, but I think that's going to be fine. Probably we are going to take this next turn, and then we do have a couple of turns for both of these objectives, so probably going to stream over here. And just look at how strong they are. They are dug in very well, they are very strong. Probably need to disband the tank so that these guys can get the reinforcements, I would even say. Yeah, we might have to add that on the Vikings over here. Now that you are on supply. Okay, I think that's going to be okay. I'm gonna add, of course, the supply range over there. Not gonna move you, I think, no, because I don't want this guy to be unrestricted by any zone of control, which probably you will be. Probably you'll be able to move down here. That's going to be okay. We'll probably still be in supply, and our tanks and fast elements can start to make their way down there, and I think these guys will be able to capture that next turn pretty handily. Good. So, but I do think now is a good time to put in a cut. So, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.